Is it a loss or is it redirection? Is everything falling apart or is it falling into place? Is it rejection or God's protection? Is it the end or the beginning of something better? Is it failure or a beautiful lesson in disguise? Is it a mistake or growth waiting to happen? Is it a closed door or a new path opening for you? Is it heartbreak or a reminder to love yourself first? Is it loneliness or just time for you to reconnect with yourself? Perspective, Hayati. Perspective is everything. Your perception will either become your prison or your passport. And girl, let it be a passport. You better be catching them flights, girl. I just want to take a moment to say thank you to everyone who has been showing me so much love on my first episode. If you haven't watched it, make sure you can go and watch it. It's definitely worth your while. And as you can see, I'm back with episode 2. And today we're going to be talking about relationships. The title of today's episode is He Is Not Your Naseeb, Sis. And why I'm choosing to speak on this is because everyone around me right now is going through some form of heartache, some form of heartbreak. Their future that they had planned with someone, potential marriage happening, is just not on the table anymore. But this is life. Things happen. You might plan your future wedding with someone and think that it's all gonna fall into place and work out. But life is funny like that. It has a weird way of just flipping the script on you. I'm aware that a lot of women don't have a strong support system behind them, and they don't have that girl next door or that big sister or that best friend to give them advice and just says, look, everything's going to be okay. And a part of me starting this pod is me being that. I want this to be a safe space for my girls. I don't want a bunch of girls going to the psych ward. I want y'all to get it out. And you know how we are as women. We're just emotional creatures. It's better to digest and let it out than let it all bubble up inside. I don't want that for you. I would like to open up with a quick story time. The other day I was out and I saw this beautiful family. They had 2 daughters with them. I'm pretty sure the mum was from Indonesia and the father or husband was from Pakistan. Where they're from doesn't really matter, but to me, I was so intrigued by this beautiful blend of a family and create their own little lineage. It's just so cute. But they were traveling and I don't know where they were going, and I was on my way somewhere, and I couldn't help but notice out of the 2 daughters, the eldest one must have been like 5 years old. So she kept saying, Dad, Dad, I really want you to look at this. And she just kept calling him every 2 seconds. And she kept saying, Dad, look at this. I want to do this and I want to go here. And he just kept saying, okay. Bear in mind, this was like the last few days of Ramadan and I could tell he was so tired and exhausted. And in that moment, I just smiled because I'm like, Allahumma barik, how patient is he? And I think once he saw me kind of smiling and laughing, he eased up a bit, because I genuinely think he thought maybe she was annoying everyone and maybe people around were getting annoyed. But I was thinking, that's my little ukhti. She could say whatever she wants. I'm watching over her. I'm gonna stick beside her. Like, I literally just met this family and I'm already ready to ride out. So she was telling her dad XYZ and he just didn't lose his patience. And I was amazed. I'm so used to being and seeing very reactive people and say, oh, be quiet, you're being annoying. But he didn't lose his patience once. And knowing that I was planning this episode, I really wanted to make note of this story. Because when you pick your future partner, you're not only choosing for yourself, but you're choosing for your future family. And I know a lot of girls who are in a situation right now and there's attachment and it's, oh, I love him, I can't get over him, it's just how I feel, he's the one for me. You need to understand that love is one thing, but there's so much other factors that you need to take into account, especially if you're building a future and a family with someone. Do you want to be with a man who's impatient and gets irritated at you when you express yourself, or when you're having a bad day, or just need a bit of reassurance? It's just, hey, sweetie, you're doing a good job. You deserve that. And I've really noticed the pattern that a lot of women are just putting up with a lot of nonsense ass men. This is not to the good men. This is to the nonsense ass men. A lot of you women are putting up with nonsense. People might sit and watch my content and be like, oh, who hurt this girl? First of all, I don't come on social media and talk about my personal life and my personal experiences. I don't do the drama, baby. And I think my track record speaks for itself. My content is for my audience at the end of the day. So if the shoe fits, let it fit. But back to my point. I think a lot of women are putting up with way more than they should because of this idea of love. And I believe in a relationship, things should be reciprocated. There should always be a level of safety and security, boundaries that are put into place. It's a union. Two people who are coming together on one accord and moving forward together. I'm not a relationship guru or an expert, but the relationships that I have with the women around me, I go based off that. And I know it's not the same, but the way I really cherish the women in my life is just unmatchable. They've seen me through every season and has shown me undeniable loyalty, compassion, love. And even though life gets a bit busy, they've always just reminded me that they're in support of me and never against me. And it's just such a beautiful thing. And I'm extremely grateful to have that. Sorry, my brush. And if those relationships in my life have thrived, then in a partner, there should be similar qualities. Although it won't be the same, of course, come on. There should always be a level of respect, love, care, compassion, and integrity that's always maintained. Something that I don't think helps our generation is the time we're living in, especially having social media around. A lot of guys and girls will be scrolling on their phones and seeing all these tens and stay engaging with them, liking, commenting, sliding into each other's DMs, thinking everyone is so accessible. But in reality, it's all a facade. And I just hate that I'm growing up in this generation. Because the thing with my mind is it can comprehend. Good people don't come by so often. And when you find someone good, you hold on to them. And not just a one-sided fight. It takes two people to fight, to learn how to fight, to learn each other's boundaries, to learn how to better understand each other, etc. I truly believe when a man really loves you, you will never have to crash out or question anything. Everything he does, he will make sure that you feel secure and loved. A man who really loves you will never sit there and justify why his exes are still shying, knowing damn well he's in a relationship, or even an ex's mother. I think collectively we all just need to stop dating people who would rather protect their options than save the current relationship they're in. He'd rather keep that ex around who keeps texting him than set boundaries with her, but then calls you crazy. He'd rather keep that ex on social media or that woman he was intimate with that caused tension between the two of you than to save the relationship. He would rather keep liking those pictures on social media than protecting his woman's mind and making other women jealous of her instead of her jealous of them. He would rather keep saying she's just a friend, but they dated a long time ago and they're friends now, but were probably more at a certain point in time. All I'm saying is if they want to protect their options, then there's no relationship. My darlings, it's time to raise the standard. Is that what you want? In a future husband? In a future partner? Someone who constantly shows you they're incapable and inadequate. After everything you've been through, you think that is your path? You think you deserve the bare minimum? You think you deserve someone who's half-assed, who doesn't keep his word, who makes you feel like you're toxic and makes you feel like you're crazy, as if he didn't put you in that energy in the first place. I'm sorry, Habibti, but that is not your Naseeb. The man who insults you is not your Naseeb. The man who raises his voice at you is not your Naseeb. The one who is lustful and knows your boundaries when it comes to other women, yet tests it, is not your Naseeb. The one who constantly apologizes but never changes is not your Naseeb. The one who risks your akhirah for this dunya is not your Naseeb. The one who avoids making it halal because he's not ready is not your Naseeb. A lot of you Muslim men, I don't know what it is that you guys are playing at. Someone once said to me, Anisa, if the Prophet ﷺ was living in our time, a lot of men would think that he's a simp. Why? Because he had compassion for women? knows their value, and understood how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created them, times have really changed, subhanAllah. Could you imagine if he was here today to see how a lot of these men of his ummah are treating women? I really think a lot of men and women would benefit from going back and reading the biography of the Prophet ﷺ and listen to khutbahs and stories on how he was as a person, especially when it came to how he treated his wives. I'm just curious to know something. To every man who doesn't show up, to every man who overpromises, to every man who degrades and disrespects, to every man who fails their woman, how would you like it if someone treated your daughter that way? Remember, Allah is aware of everything and He sees everything, and nothing goes unnoticed. Seeing on social media, oh, a man's always going to choose himself, and as women we should take notes. First of all, it takes true discipline to stay loyal, to protect the heart of the woman who trusts you, and to value what you've built together. A real man doesn't chase fleeting thrills or cheap validation from others who can never even compare to his woman. Not even in your thoughts, not in 1,000 years, not if she's not around, not if you're on bad terms, not if you argue, not if it seems like the love is gone, not if you have problems or challenges. He understands that love, respect, and loyalty aren't just words. Because at the end of the day, betraying the heart of the person who loves you means betraying yourself. And no real man would destroy his own soul for a moment of selfishness. And if he does, he is not your Naseeb. The type of girl that I am, I'm very strict. If you disrespect me or cross boundaries, you got to stand on it. Because I know how white my heart is. I'm such a pure soul. Down to my feet. I look at my feet and I'm like, damn, need to be protected as feet. Like, for real. But after safeguarding myself for so long, I will not allow anyone to come into my space and ruin me. I'm so protective over me because I know I'm extremely kind, loyal. I know how big my heart is. My heart is so big, but wallahi, I know when to close the door. I show up for everyone I love. Even when I'm empty and have nothing that I'm running on, I will still find it in me to give. I've been through so much, alhamdulillah, and it has made me stronger than I'll ever know. And when I love deeply, but I will never settle for less than I deserve. But I understand that a lot of people might not be as strong as me due to circumstances on how they've been raised, maybe neglect that happened in someone's childhood, Allahu A'lam. You are not the villain for being asked to be treated right. You're something precious that God has created. The same God that created the moon, the stars, the vastness in the sky is the same Lord that created every single cell in your body, every single cell on your glowing skin, and He shaped you and did so beautifully so. So why don't you deserve the best? And to anyone who's watching this with a heavy heart, I promise you, your tears and your pain is not in vain. And very soon, everything will start to make sense. All the tears you've shed, all the hurt you felt, you will see how Allah answered your du'as in more beautiful ways than you could have ever imagined. I want you to remember that this life is filled with trials, and sometimes it can get really dark. But after every hardship comes ease. There will be light that always follows the darkness. Don't give up on yourself. Don't think that you need someone to complete you. You are strong alone, and you will be even stronger afterwards. Diamonds are formed when? Under pressure. Don't ever forget that. You will get what your heart desires, and if Allah is making you wait, then be certain that He is making you wait for something far better than your wildest imagination. All you need to do is stay patient. Do not lose hope in God's plan. Stop being loyal to these lousy ass men who have nothing to offer you but a facade, and stay loyal to God, because He's the only one that's going to stay by your side. You're so scared of being alone and not having anyone, but God has literally been there the whole time. If you feel as though you have been wronged, don't worry, Hayati. Allah's wrath is so strong that He will hold each and every single one of them accountable, not only in this dunya, but in the hereafter. And nothing goes unaccounted for in the eyes of Allah. I've heard so many stories of women being in such unjust situations. May Allah heal your hearts. And same for the men too who've been in similar situations. May Allah heal your hearts too. But remember, someone who truly loves you will respect you and will have the patience to prove himself to you through his actions and not just his words. Which is why you have to remember your worth. You have to remember your worth. You are not here to entertain empty words, to be a temporary form of entertainment for someone. You are a real person with real emotions. Stay focused on your faith. Stay focused on your goals. I know you're tired. I know you can't wait for the day that you can finally rest and meet someone who reciprocates your energy. The day that you meet someone that's here to stay and shows you why you should always keep your guard down. Someone who chooses you even in your hardest of days and stays by you forever. You deserve that, sis. And you will find it. I'm hopeful. Every man wishes he had a good woman. But what many of them don't realize is that good women with good hearts come with real emotions. And they feel everything so deeply. They love hard. They're very affectionate and passionate. And they will pour their entire soul into everyone that they care about. Good women are extremely loyal, but their hearts are very soft, which means they can be easily frustrated, upset, or emotional when things don't feel right. It's not a weakness, it's because they care. She might have her moments, but when a good woman loves you, she will give you a kind of love that is very rare and precious. One that needs to be protected, the kind of love that you will never find anywhere else. So treasure it before it's too late. And a message to my brothers, please be careful. You don't know whose heart you're breaking or who's building their life around the promises that you've made. You might be going through your own growth and on your own journey, and that's absolutely fine. But please be careful treading on someone whilst you are on your journey, because they might spend a lifetime having to recover from that. Remember, khifara is real. What goes around comes around. You're playing with someone's daughter, the same will be done onto you, if not worse. So please, my brothers, be careful. You don't know who is beloved to Allah. You don't know who Allah keeps close. So change those ways quickly and ask for forgiveness, not only from your Lord, but from the person you have wronged. And to my ladies, I just want to say, be careful who you build the foundation with. Some people will use you to build the foundation and go and build the structure with someone else. It's deep. You have to watch where you're placing your time, your energy, and your efforts. And one of the worst things a woman can do is waste her precious years waiting for a man to change. And I know how we women are. Once you have fallen and you believe that person is for you, you're ready to ride it out. But Hayati, you need to remember your time is extremely precious and you will never get these years back. You were the girl who was there during his no job phase when he wasn't giving you princess treatment. He couldn't get you flowers, wasn't taking you on any dates. You could have left, but you stayed because you believed in what you had. Where he should have been loyal to the soil and gave you back in tenfolds, he didn't. But that is not on you. And that's something that we need to remember, especially as women. A lot of the times people are projecting and going through their own troubles. And I can hear a lot of you women saying, oh, but I would have been there for him and I would have done more for him. And maybe it's a blessing that it had to end so suddenly and in the way that it did, because some people will ruin the sweetest of souls. They will push you and your boundaries. And once you turn bitter and the hurt finally speaks up, they'll call you crazy and toxic and that you weren't right for each other, forgetting that they lit the fire themselves, forgetting that there's a root. There's a root as to where all of these reactions and outbursts are coming from. You can't blame someone for defending what's left of them or for them refusing to put up with disrespect. Maturity is realizing some people can't give you what they don't have. You stop expecting loyalty from those who betray themselves, honesty from those who lie to themselves, and peace from those who are at war with themselves. To the girl who's watching this, I don't know what your story is or what your situation may be, but all I know is that I just want better for every single one of you. To whoever's watching with a broken heart or thoughts filled with their heads, I really hope and pray within this video that I've given you some kind of comfort or a reality check. Because girls, sometimes we be needing that too. I saw something that said, I went from being the I said what I said type of girl to being the girl that was always apologizing to him. And it's sad how much love can just change you as a person. And I don't want this message to be seen as something that's completely negative. It's just to give people a wake-up call. And for your big sis to be on the line and for you to pick up and really listen to what it is that she's saying. Sometimes people speak highly of deen, marriage and honesty, but their actions are full of betrayal, deception and lies. Just because someone claims to be following their faith and presents themselves as righteous doesn't mean that their actions align with what it is that they're saying. And for me, that's my biggest ick. A man is his word. And I just want to let you girls know that there are good men out there. Go for the good, kind, patient men who will love you like no other. The ones who you choose for your future daughters and sons. And every time you look at them, you feel nothing but ease. Good people are rare, but they are out there. And when you find them, hold on to them. I just want to end this by saying, focus on yourself and get all your ducks lined in a row until Allah sends the right person to you. No man is worth your mental health. No man is worth your career, your education, your passions. No man is worth losing or jeopardizing your relationship with God for, or your future plans, especially if he's not acting right. Get in the gym, build positive habits, surround yourself with people who love you and adore you and celebrate you. Start eating right, because I know a lot of us girls don't be eating. Let this chapter be about you and for you where you choose you, and keep God close. My heart and my soul is always revived when I keep Allah close. He knows all my worries, my pain, my joys, my sorrows, my hurt. And every time, he's the only one that ever gets me through. And remember, Hayati, your greatest love story is not with that boy. It is with Allah, and how you evolved and stayed 10 toes down and always believed that he was going to give you so much more than you could have ever imagined. Only he knows who is written for you and what is not. And even if that man is for you, pray to God that he brings you two back together at a time and place where you're both in a good place and where you become right for each other. May God keep both of you guys' hearts soft for each other, and where Allah is at the union and at the forefront of everything you do. Finally, I want to end this episode with a dua to anyone who is watching this and is praying for their Naseeb. Oh Allah, let it be a love that strengthens their faith and brings them closer to you and fills their heart with peace. Oh Allah, place between them deep affection, mercy and understanding. Let their love be a reflection of your divine love, filled with kindness, serenity, sincerity and patience. May you bring the hearts that are meant to be together and gather them with the one who is best for them, not only in this life, but in the akhirah. Ameen. Let it be someone who loves them for your sake and who supports them in righteousness, and one who sees them with eyes of mercy. Ya Allah, make their path a love path to Jannah, a means of fulfilling their purpose and a reason for your pleasure. Ya Mukhallib al-Khalub, if the one who is best for them is near, bring them closer with ease. If they are far, connect them in the best way at the best time. If they are not meant for them, turn them away and turn their hearts away and replace it with something so much greater. Ya Allah, may you fill everyone who is watching this heart with contentment in your decree and let them trust in your wisdom. Ya Razaq, bless them all with a love that is filled with barakah. Protect them from a love that brings them harm, doubt or distraction from you. And let this love story be written by you, the best of writers. And let it be more beautiful than they could have ever imagined. Ameen. And y'all, sometimes in life, it just gets like that. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe to all those who are listening via audio. Woo! That was a lot. I just let out a lot, man. Just let out a lot. But guys, life is hard. Life is hard as it is. And may Allah ease it for us all. Well, thank you all for tuning into today's episode. And I will see you on the next.